Today, I am beginning chapter 5 called Healing and Wholeness. I'm reading the first part before the first official section. To heal is to make happy. I have told you to think how many opportunities you have had to gladden yourself and how many you have refused. So he's told us this before. He's talking about each and every now moment. There is no such thing as time. The now moment is all that exists. And he's talking about every now moment that we have refused to gladden ourselves, which is the same as refusing to practice forgiveness, which means refusing to see that these bodies are not who we really are and that we are really spirit. So every time we refuse to see that and accept that, we are refusing to gladden ourselves. This is the same as telling you that you have refused to heal yourself, because practicing forgiveness is what heals us. The light that belongs to you is the light of joy. That's our truth. Radiance is not associated with sorrow. Joy calls forth an integrated willingness to share it and promotes the mind's natural impulse to respond as one. Because all minds are joined, we are all one. That is our natural impulse. Those who attempt to heal without being wholly joyous themselves call forth different kinds of responses at the same time, and thus deprive others of the joy of responding wholeheartedly. Okay, so that's all of us most of the time. Most of the time we are forgetting that we are not our ego. We are forgetting that we are not bodies. And therefore, when we are attempting to do this course and heal, if we are doing it in a way that is not wholly joyous, meaning being completely in truth and knowing that we are spirit and not bodies, then we are going to call forth different kinds of responses at the same time, meaning things that are not just pure joy and love. Meaning other feelings, other responses. Okay, so this is what most of us are doing all the time because we are still identifying with our ego thought system. And so when we do that, we are thus depriving others of the joy of responding wholeheartedly, meaning that they also will not be knowing who and what they really are. To be wholehearted, you must be happy. If fear and love cannot coexist, and if it is impossible to be wholly fearful and remain alive, the only possible whole state is that of love. All right, what does he mean by this? It is impossible to be wholly fearful and remain alive. That's because we're not really living. We think we're alive in these bodies, but this is not real life. Real life is our eternal spirit self. So when we are fearful, meaning we are identifying with our ego thought system, then we are depriving ourselves and others of joy. We are depriving ourselves and others of happiness and of truly living. There is no difference between love and joy. Therefore, the only possible whole state is wholly joyous. That's all that's real. That's all that's true. That's all that we really are, is just love, wholly joyous love. To heal or to make joyous is therefore the same as to integrate and make one. Because we're all one, we're all connected. And when we are in our truth, which is joyous, which is love, we know that. We know that we are all connected. That is why it makes no difference to what part or by what part of the sonship the healing is offered. Every part benefits and benefits equally, meaning it doesn't matter which dream figures you choose to forgive in your illusory dream life. It doesn't matter which ones, which people, which situations, which beings you choose to practice forgiveness with, because we are all connected. We are all one. So we don't need to go out and actually meet every single person and forgive every single person. We just need to forgive the dream figures that appear within our illusory world. And when we do that, we are, in fact, forgiving everyone because we are all one. All minds are joined. You are being blessed by every beneficent thought of any of your brothers anywhere. Okay, that's another way of saying what I just said. Every time we practice forgiveness, it benefits everyone everywhere. You should want to bless them in return out of gratitude. You need not know them individually or they you. Okay, that's what I was just saying. We don't need to personally know every single person in order for it to benefit every single person for us to practice forgiveness. The light is so strong that it radiates throughout the sonship and returns thanks to the Father for radiating his joy upon it. All right, that's a beautiful way of describing forgiveness. The light, which is our truth, our love, is so strong. That's who we really are. We come from God. That's what God is. That it radiates throughout the sonship, right? The one us, the one child of God, Christ. And it returns thanks to our Father for radiating his joy upon it. Because this joy and this love that we truly are came from our Father, our parent, source, or God. That's where it came from. When we are radiating that same love and light upon our brothers in our illusory world, we are thanking God for the joy and the love that God has given us. Only God's holy children are worthy channels of his beautiful joy, because only they are beautiful enough to hold it by sharing it. Now, I know in that sentence, it comes off as sounding like, we are special. But the truth is, there's only one of us. So we're not any more special than anyone else. When it says only they are beautiful enough to hold it by sharing it, it is impossible for a child of God to love his neighbor except as himself, because we are all one. And whenever we practice forgiveness, when we see with our spiritual sight that everyone and everything out there is just love, just spirit, just light, then we are reinforcing to ourselves that that is what we are. That is why the healer's prayer is, let me know this brother as I know myself. So that is how that part ends. And this chapter is going to continue to talk about healing and wholeness, which really means practicing forgiveness. So I've said many times, this book is very simple. It's saying the same thing over and over and over again. We're not really here. We are not really our egos. We are really spirit. We are all one. This world is just a dream of separation that we are having. And this is why we do not feel love and joy in every single now moment. As we continue to practice forgiveness, we will experience more love and joy. And that is how we heal with, let me know this brother as I know myself. That is practicing forgiveness. So the more we look upon the world and know that everyone and everything is one with us and just love, just light, the more that we will heal and the more that we will become whole. Now, that doesn't mean that any time that we forget to practice forgiveness and we get tricked by the ego and believe that we are separate and judge others and feel attacked and attack others, that each time we do that, which is most of the time for most people, that doesn't mean we're a failure. It doesn't mean we're doing anything wrong. We just need more practice. We're just asleep and we need to keep practicing forgiveness so that we can wake up. There is no such thing as time. You've never failed. You've never done anything wrong. You are an innocent child of God, and you have every single now moment to choose again.